Did you hear a bump in the night? In the night. Bump in the night. In the night. Bump in the night. Did you hear a bump in the night? In the night. Bump in the night.
We're back. Bump in the Night Society presents Exploring Your Society. I'm your host, Sean Bowman.
I'm Phil K.
Tonight we have a very special guest,
Mikey B.
the one and only.
I think Sean froze on my intro, so I'm not sure if you got that.
Oh, man.
We did get our first viewer.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Welcome, first viewer. Phil, give him a round of applause.
Woo!
I'll go because we have a sleepy baby.
So, Mikey, why don't you tell us how you got involved in the paranormal?
Well, and hey to Peggy. My first real paranormal experience, I was in a metal band, and we had one of our guitarists was into the occult. He was actually one of our former members in our prior team, and he wanted to do a ritual, a summoning ritual. And I was like, well, you know what? We're a metal band. I'm down for that. I didn't believe in any of it at the time. So we went to a place called Hell's Gates, and it's rumored to have a portal to hell in the middle of the cemetery. So we all go there. We do the ritual. I'll spare the details, but you know it was a pretty hardcore ritual. And right after we were done, we heard this scream. It started at the front end of the cemetery. It was a roar, and it went the whole way around. And it wasn't like multiple entities. It was one singular roar the whole way around. And afterwards, we kind of lost time a little bit. It was just me and my two guitarists. And my one guitarist and I came to, and we couldn't find the other one. And we searched for a while, and someone just said, "So serious, Mr. Bowser." I'm just trying to keep my voice down because the baby's been sleeping upstairs. But so we came to, and we couldn't find our one guitarist, and we searched for him for like 27 minutes or so, and we ended up finding him in my car. We could see the silhouette of him in my car, which was parked under the tree, which is coincidentally, and I didn't know this at the time, up where they say the portal to hell is. So we went up, and we're like, what the hell is he doing? We're like, hey, we opened the door, like, hey, get out, man. He's not responding. And then finally we pulled him out of the car, and as we pulled him, we could see his pupils were dilated like crazy, and he was not responsive. We shook him, and then finally my friend just smacked him in the face, and he came to and just started saying, hey, we need to get the fuck out of here. We need to get out of here now. And, I like to think that was some kind of oppression or a full-on possession, and he won't talk about what happened. He gets real aggressive if you even bring it up, so it's pretty crazy. But that was my first experience. That got me away from the paranormal. I wanted nothing to do with it. And then I don't know, recently I just kind of got the itch. I mean, I'd still go to cemeteries and whatnot, but I just kind of got the itch, and I was like, my friend asked me to join the team with Sean and Jen and a couple other members, and then we evolved into what we are now.
Yeah, why don't you talk about how we got started as a group?
Well, we got started. It was kind of a random assortment of folks with various backgrounds, and my friend just kind of asked me, personally, like, "Hey, do you want to join this team I'm starting?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And we started as Celestial Oddities Paraseekers, which is what he kind of branched off to doing his own thing when he left our team. And then when he branched off, we decided to, rename and, start our thing. And that's when we had a vote with our social media on what we want our name to be. And I think Sean came up with Bump in the Night Society, and he he beat me by a few votes. I wanted Goodwill Haunting, but
Do you remember the other two? What the other two
That was
were?
a good one,
I
man.
don't remember the other two. There was one. It was like Apparitional Something
Yeah.
Society, and it spelled out ass. So we
Or that
That's so
Para-Addicts, I
original.
think was the other one, wasn't it?
yeah.
That would have been a good one too, Para-Addicts, actually.
Yeah. I like Bumping the Night Society though. I think the logo is
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yep.
You know, it's pretty fashionable. So I'm not here to sell merch, but we do have merch, and it's pretty sweet.
Show it off. Wu-Tang.
Yeah, Wu-Tang.
Yeah. Product placement.
Yeah.
Trying to get a sponsor from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, Phil, what do you have to say there?
Yeah, man. So since being a part of this group so far, what have been some of the most intense experiences you've had so far being a part of the group?
Well, I mean, that one I said before
Yeah.
the group was probably the most. I would say probably the Loveland Castle, which we're going to actually see the video of later when Sean was doing a channeling session and we had some poltergeist activity. That and one I kind of did on my own. It was a flip house that my cousin and my uncle were doing, and I'm so pissed. Like, it was weird. They kept finding all these weird pictures in the walls and all this weird like items in the walls from the prior residents. And my aunt always claimed that she saw a shadow figure in one of the rooms when she was outside. And then my uncle caught this picture of this giant orb, and it was really creepy. And they found this picture in the wall. It was like a group of older people, like surrounded in the one room of the house. They're like surrounding this, what it looked like was a giant orb, and they're all sitting there. It looked like almost like a cult. So I went there, and we got some really crazy responses. And then at one point it said, "Here I come." And I like threw the spirit box. It got real cold. The craziest part, though, happened at the end of the night. I was trying to find my flashlight, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And we were sitting upstairs in the cubby hole. Like, there was an upstairs cubby. We're just like digging around trying to find my flashlight. And Hannah was there, and she pulled out this little boy's pair of shorts that were in the floorboards of the room. And as she pulled it out, we looked at it and we're like, wow, that's creepy as hell. And then we started hearing footsteps coming up the stairs. And I thought, it was a homeless guy. So instead of grabbing my camera, I grabbed my gun thinking it's some like homeless person that broke in. But no, it walked the whole way up the stairs, walked over to the other side. It was completely demoed. So the upstairs was there was no walls. And we heard it walk over to the other side of the upstairs and then walk back over to us. Clear as day. It was the craziest footsteps ever.
Dude, that's nuts.
But
man.
of course, I didn't have my camera because I grabbed my gun instead.
Mikey.
I know. It's a very sad missed opportunity for sure.
Oh man, that's nuts, dude. Has there ever like been any instances where you've actually gone into like a place where there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen here, and all of a sudden it's like crickets the whole night, like nothing?
I can never say that we got shut out.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that we've always had activity everywhere we went, but I would say the least activity that we found was probably the House of Wills. Not really. I think we had a lot of activity. It's just, I don't know. That place creeped me out, not on paranormal side, more on the,
Right.
I'm afraid to go outside and get shot, or like, I'm going to creep around a corner and some guy's going to be there with a gun and just blow my head off. Like that was more the scare of the House of Wills, but we didn't get too much activity. We got a couple good, intelligent flashlight things that happened.
Mhm.
And I know Vicky did a really cool channeling session from Pittsburgh Paranormal Investigators where we had some pretty good responses. But I would say that was probably the most quiet night that we've had so far.
Yeah, me and you had a couple of things happen upstairs, but other than that, there wasn't really too much going on.
Yeah, we had some good REM pod activity. I would like to say that, our digital voice recorders and stuff probably pick stuff up, but I mean, we're not doing a documentary about it. So I don't really want to go through all the evidence if, we got other pressing things.
I think the place on the outside was scarier than it was on the inside.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah,
gosh, dude.
it was terrifying. I just remember when I think it was Phil, April, and Jen were leaving for the night, and like you guys were walking so slow, and I see this car just drive past so slowly, and I'm like, dude, you guys need to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna drop your shit and run back in the house.
And the fucking car stopped and they turned around and they were driving very slow. And yep, that was their key to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying.
Jesus, Mary Joseph.
So, Mikey, where's your fanny pack at?
It's upstairs. I was gonna wear it, but you know, I'm kind of sitting down the whole time. It kind of my gut gets in the way of the fanny pack when I sit.
Should have showed off your new fancy one with the bump logo on it.
I know it is nice. It is nice. Don't worry, we'll be doing yeah, definitely appreciate it, April, and we'll be doing a merch commercial probably with our upcoming documentary. So we'll cheese it up as much as possible.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy, man. Oh god. Because some of the stuff we do is amazing. It's just hilarious. We're a bunch of nutcases, and I love it.
I know. I would say the most recent crazy activity we got was definitely the Monroe House, and I wish Phil was there for it.
Oh, I know.
It was so intense. I mean, there was, I would say, Jen's channeling session with the doll, and we had Karma on Facebook Live, and I mean, she was spot on as usual. And then Sean and I in the basement, like, so disappointed my camera went out when I was in the hole because we had some really crazy activity, and I actually got touched. And it was kind of weird, yeah. In a not so friendly area either.
He liked it. You told me that was like the only time you ever been scared or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and
That's
I was
crazy.
scared, like not just because of paranormal, like I didn't know what the fuck it was because as soon as I got in there, I had to kill a spider, like I mean a really big spider, and like that kind of set the tone of like I'm gonna be freaked out while I'm in here, and I like put a hoodie on and had like pants on and everything, and I just like tried to dress as much as possible so critters wouldn't get to me. But and what freaked me out was it kind of like went underneath like my leg and then into my private area and I thought maybe it was a snake, like because there's like a carpet.
It was the Bowser trouser snake.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be far less intimidating than that.
More like the worm.
Yeah, exactly. The little millworm.
Oh Lord. Oh God.
But no, I mean that was intense, and it definitely freaked me out. And that vibe in that basement in general. I mean, I know Sean. Were you freaked out at all? Because I had to go upstairs. And
you like left me down there. I was like, "You're just gonna leave me down here?"
Because I had to go upstairs and change because I felt like I had the hoodie on and a mask and all this stuff, and I wanted to take it off just in case there was like a spider or something in there. I was like freaked out.
Was it dirty Was it dirty where the hole was, or was it? Just...
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it wasn't a clean hole. It was a dirty hole.
See, I would be like, oh god, I gotta wash, and like
Phil would have been bathing in hand sanitizer for sure.
Yeah,
that's actually very true. God damn, I wish.
Well, there was a whole bunch of shit that like happened down there. Not just that, like the laser grid kept shutting on and off, and then my flashlight wasn't working, and then we started hearing that weird noise coming from where the stuff was plugged in, and
yeah, my camera like 2 sessions didn't record. I'm hoping we got it on another camera. But I do have one video clip in the clips that we're going to share later.
I should have saved
EVPs.
that picture of you on the baby monitor that froze.
I think we have it in the chat.
Yeah, but I'm saying I should have put it on here. But
yeah, no,
because that picture was creepy.
Yeah, it really was. And I don't know why the baby monitor wouldn't work either. I mean, it's just like all our technology wasn't working down there for some reason.
Is it working now that it's back at your house?
My camcorder?
Your baby monitor?
I haven't tested it yet. I mean, it's kind of shit in the bed in general. Like we tried using it at Greenville Manor, and I mean, it kept freezing. It was just horrible. I don't know if you remember that, Phil.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I want to go back there again. Greenville was fun.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to go back there with Sean and you and whoever wants to join, just to interview Marcus and Katie for the documentary. Because I pretty much have everything analyzed on my end. So I got a couple theories, and maybe want to do another spirit box session in the evil room and see if we can figure out what's going on there.
I wouldn't mind joining. I got to start doing these more, anticipated rooms where something's always bad in there. I'm like, you know what? I just gotta freaking do it, man. I just gotta do it.
You gotta do some more solos there, Phil.
I know, dude. I mean, I did do the solo at the Moundsville penitentiary. I think that was pretty cool.
We were kind of in the same room.
Yeah. Shut up, Sean.
Far from each other, I guess.
Just wait for Bel Air. We'll leave you in the house alone.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. Hey, you gotta learn
Lock you in the
somehow.
basement down there.
Yeah.
Shit. Gotta learn somehow, you know? I mean, I wouldn't mind, though, getting, a certain limit, tested just to see if I can do it. I don't do them enough. Not because, I get freaked out, but, it's like with Crescent. The only reason I actually didn't do one is because that place is so huge and it was dark and, winter was just insane. I would have had to be like, I don't know how to get out of here kind of thing. But
yeah.
I guess that's just the fun of it. You just have to do it,
Yeah. I actually, unfortunately, looked at all my footage from Crescent, and it's all shit. Yeah, I mean, I got stuff like evidence-wise, but it's like the film is so dark because I didn't have my new. I got a new IR light now, so things are looking a little better.
There we go. Yeah.
Crescent was brutal. That weather was nuts.
Yeah, and I think it really crushed a lot of the paranormal stuff, just because, you could be like, oh, if you're here making noise, boom, yeah. Can't really tell what's wind and what's not.
Although the one that me and Troy, Jen, and myself did with the whole laser grid going off on the top of the cell and then going off on the bottom, that was actually pretty wicked. That was like the only good thing I caught about the whole investigation that night, which is really cool.
Me and Mancini heard footsteps that same area that you guys were in too, and it wasn't you guys because you guys were in that one room. We heard it above us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was that place is beautiful, man. I was even telling Sean I would love to go there during like a really hot summer day. I don't know why. I just because every time we've gone there, it's always been like freezing our asses off and shit.
Yeah.
Right. Must do more warm investigations.
No, we like it cold. We like it cold. Come on.
No.
I heard a crate crash. Yeah, we heard a crash there at one time. We went during the day too.
Yeah.
We had that activity in the gym as well. If you remember, Phil, when we were working out.
I was like, barely, doing it with 125 pounds. Michael's rubbing it like it was nothing. Prick.
You'll get there, Phil. Don't worry.
Yeah, I am. I'm slowly getting there. I actually worked out last night. My muscles are killing me right now. Did some chest, did some back, and did a little bit of abs. So I'm slowly getting there.
Did some chest, some back, some...
I do.
Called his little pea shooters.
Shh, don't give away my secret. Wolverine.
I
like it. That's really funny.
Shug, which one is Wolverine?
Yeah, which one? It's not me. I'm too skinny. I say Mikey's Wolverine. He makes a good Wolverine.
The douchiest Wolverine ever. That much.
Oh man. So Mikey, what's one of the places that you would love to visit? It doesn't have to be like in the US, or it could be outside the US that you would love to investigate just once, just because you've heard a lot of, crazy shit about that place,
I would say probably I probably have maybe two.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a picture where I was Wolverine. I forgot about that.
We have to see this. We have to see this.
I was really not low, and I was like, I forgot about that. That's some old school IUP stuff.
Oh, that's great.
But I would say my bucket list, I got two of them, and they kind of fall on the same ley line. Okay. The first one is the Ancient Rams Inn.
Oh.
It's I think it was built, don't quote me on the year, it was like 1042 AD, and it was built on an ancient pagan burial ground. And it's just the most dark place possible. And there's a lot of possessions that have happened, just a lot of activity, mainly negative, which I always like. And the original owner ended up passing away recently and left it to his daughter, who was renovating the house. And every time she would dig up things in the basement, they would find bones. Because there was it was a pagan ritual and burial ground, and they would also do sacrifices there, like back in the, early, before 1042 when it was built. So it was just a very ancient place. And then along the same ley line is Stonehenge. And I don't really know of anybody that investigated Stonehenge in a paranormal sense, because I know a lot of people think it's like an extraterrestrial type of scenario, which, I mean, the paranormal kind of coincides with, the extraterrestrial as well as cryptids. So I think if you could use paranormal investigation techniques at a place like Stonehenge, you might get, interesting results.
Well, that's like talking about like cryptids and paranormal and UFOs and all that.
Yeah.
How come you're so opposed to go looking for Bigfoot? I know Tony was asking us to go. I know Tony's in the chat here. So.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that. I actually, I was watching Dave Schrader's one of his recent podcasts, and he posed the same question that I did.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if you find Bigfoot? Like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Right.
Like,
right.
unless you're packing some, unless you're packing some serious heat, you're just getting fucked up.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, I get it. You want to get them on tape, which would be awesome and amazing, but at the same time, it's like, well, what are you gonna do?
Tony has a spot for you, man.
I got the spot.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
I might have to wait till Leo's older, and then I'll take him out with us.
Yeah.
Use that bait.
Yeah. That's the thing. It kind of limits a lot of things. We have a baby, so I know you guys do a lot of the cons and everything, and we love to join. It's just it's hard, and we have limited time with babysitting and whatnot. So I always prioritize. Like if I'm gonna have a weekend or a Saturday night, I want to do it investigating. Like I want to be out there in the field. Like,
well, talking about that though, you're coming to HillCon, right?
Yeah, I am coming to HillCon.
So that's in August 13th, I think, at Hillview.
So. Yeah.
We're actually going to have the full team, which there's actually more than 6 of us now. That's the next surprise guest that's going to be on next week. But there's going to be 7 of us now, and all 7 of us are actually supposed to be there. So if anybody ever wanted to like come out and hang out with us, that's going to be your chance.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for our
Jay said August 13th.
August 13th. Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, I'm so pumped for our new person too. I know we haven't announced it yet, and we're not going to right now.
Yes.
But yeah, I know like we've investigated with him twice, and like both times, the first time we investigated at Crescent, I was like, man, we need to get this dude on the team for sure. Yeah. And then he came with us to Monroe, and I was like, you know what? I'm sold. We got to get him on the team. I actually told Sean after Crescent, like after, if somebody were to leave the team, we need to get this guy on the team.
Yes, exactly.
And then after Monroe, I was like, you know what? Like, I was so impressed because he's sitting there literally listening to digital voice recorder, like trying to analyze evidence while he's still at the house. And I'm like, shit, I can't get evidence from anybody even months after an investigation.
Which, talking about that, me, Phil, and our new member, we're going to start doing evidence reviews together, hopefully once a month or something. That way we'll get shit out more. Hopefully get more content out on YouTube and everything like that, because that's what our main goal is right now.
Yeah, that'll be amazing too, because, just like get a big room, just bring your laptops, whatever the hell we use, and just dive in, man. Could take more than a couple of hours, maybe, even if it's like a half a day or something like that. It'll be fun, I mean, what do you see? No, what do you see? Bullshit, what do you see? So,
not sure who that Facebook user is, but
you might.
Yes, he is an awesome guy. He really is. He's a big time mutual friend of Sean and I, so I'm very happy about it. Very happy. Anybody else? No, nobody.
So earlier you were talking about when you had your experience at the cemetery and you were in a metal band. So how was that growing up? What'd you do in the metal band?
Yeah. Oh, I was a vocalist. We were horrible.
Come on.
I felt like everybody was really good on their own. I mean, my screaming voice is nowhere near what it was.
I'm put you on the spot right now.
No, yeah, I got Leo sleeping upstairs. Hannah would kill me in a second.
That's so funny.
No, I mean, I might have to practice it later when Leo gets a little older. See how the screaming, bring it back a little bit, screaming at him. But
we need to do like a screamo rap song together.
Yeah, we could. I used to rap a little bit too, not too much, but I used to rap in the band a little bit. It was kind of like a rap metal, hardcore type of thing.
Hey, would you compare yourself?
Phil can play the skin flute.
Yeah.
Mikey, who would you compare yourself to when back in your? Yeah, no, that's a hard question to ask her. The closest, maybe.
Or what's your influence, I guess, too.
I would say, I would say like my biggest influences back then were probably Poison the Well. And probably Reveille. I really loved Reveille. I was so disappointed. they only came out with 2 CDs and then broke up, but they were, the best atheist rap metal band in the world because they were probably the only one.
Metal.
Yeah, you ever hear Reveille?
Never heard of them, man.
Check them out, Phil. You'll love them.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they're like Limp Bizkit, but not douchey. And, and rapping about dark shit.
Okay, I can dig it, man.
So did you play an instrument at all too, or just vocals?
I just vocaled when I was in a band. I can shittily play guitar. I used to be a little bit better than I am now because my hands are all fucked from typing at work all the time. But yeah, I could play guitar a little bit and bass a little bit. I mean, pretty much if you can play guitar, you can play bass. So, that's about it though. I never really, got into it. I did a couple guitar lessons here and there growing up, but nothing too crazy.
Nice. What can you say are some of your favorite bands that you listen to now?
I mean, right now I'm really digging this Baby Shark. It's like
I don't know you were gonna say that.
I know, right?
Baby Shark's really kicking ass in the Paw Patrol song with Mayor Humdinger.
Okay.
No, I mean I haven't really been caught up with the scene. I mean, I still listen to the same shit I listened to back then. So a lot of Poison the Well, a lot of Hatebreed.
Nice. There we go.
A lot of older stuff. I still like Slipknot.
Oh, Slipknot's amazing. Love those guys.
Yeah. That was the last concert I've been to was Slipknot.
Which one was it? What year?
It was pre-COVID. So 2 years ago when they came with Knotfest. I didn't even catch the opening bands. I think they came with Volbeat.
I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was there.
Were you in the lawn?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never.
Okay.
I always go for lawn seats because I hate like staying in one spot. I have to move around.
I know. I'm usually the same way, but I drug Hannah there, so we had to get seats.
Did she like it?
Yeah. No, she hated it. No, she actually. When we first started dating, I took her to a Kill Switch Engage concert, and I thought we were gonna break up because she was so pissed at me. She's definitely into country music.
Oh man.
Unfortunately, but I still love her.
Hey.
I like to mix everything.
Yeah. I'm probably the most underground of the guys because that's all I listen to is underground metal, like shit nobody knows about.
Yeah. I used to be like that. I mean, most of the bands I used to listen to like sold out. Like I saw Avenged Sevenfold when they first came out, and they were still like a hardcore band. Right. I actually saw them. They opened up for the band, the punk band Unseen. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're familiar with them at all, but it was a weird, diverse crowd. And when Killswitch Engage was on stage screaming, like all the punk kids are like whipping them off and stuff. It was really, really weird.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually going to go see I might be. Actually, no, I am going to go see As I Lay Dying. I think this month. I hope they're not bad. They're like
no, I dig them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they used to be a Christian band, and the irony is the lead singer actually went to court for hiring a hitman to try to off his wife.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
I mean, musically they're okay, and my buddy was like, "Yeah, you want to come?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What the hell?" It's them and Whitechapel, which Whitechapel's not bad. They're
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with them, but
metalcore, basic metalcore shit, but it'll be good.
I don't really know metal at all. I mean, I did. I was supposed to go to that Slipknot show when it got rained out and that when Marilyn Manson was here and that too.
Oh,
he did, one song and it got stormed.
Yeah, that was so fun, man. So fun.
I was mad I didn't get tickets to that, but then I was like, well, I'm kind of glad I didn't.
We may do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like right when Manson's dad died. I know Jen went to the concert like right around that time, and it was terrible. That's like, remember the week after, I think it was in Cleveland or something, he fell off stage or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I'd still like to see him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's crazy because like I heard that if he's not headlining, he's not as energetic would be the right way of putting it. But if he's headlining, he gives it his all, which makes sense. But it's like, come on, dude. Doesn't matter if you're spot number 3 or spot number 1. The crowd's here to see you because that's why they came.
So you're saying if he's not headlining, he's not shoving microphones up his ass.
Yeah, no one wants to see that shit.
That's just Phil's Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's only Tuesday, folks. Just wait. That's the stream later.
But no, it sucks. A lot of the bands I used to love, like Avenged Sevenfold, but they sold out. I mean, they're still good, I would say, instrumentally. Like their guitarists are pretty awesome, but
Yeah.
vocally, I mean, they're like almost like newfound glory now, because I think their vocalist had something like something with his brain or his throat, I can't remember, and he can't scream anymore.
Oh,
So I
Jesus.
kind of like spoiled that. And then like another band I was super into for the longest time was AFI. Like
Nice.
they were awesome, and then they just became the douchiest emo band ever. They came out with a CD called Sing the Sorrow, I think in like 2002, and it just went it's horrible.
AFI. Oh my God. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, apparently King
Down for the
Diamond and
brewery.
Merciful Fate. Oh yeah, the brewery's good, man. I was there with Tony recently. It's,
Yeah, Tony was telling me that. Yeah.
dude, so
Is
good.
it haunted?
It is not haunted. I
Are
don't
you sure?
think. Hey Tony, is the brewery we went to haunted by chance? I gotta ask him because that'd be kind of cool. Although it's too beautiful to be haunted. I don't know.
I've heard of King Diamond. I don't know who Merciful Fate is.
Yeah, I've heard of King Diamond too. I'm not
King
familiar.
Diamond is the band before. It was Merciful Fate. Then King Diamond basically went, solo and did that. So Merciful Fate was his band prior to going solo.
Age, sex,
Yes,
location. I think you're in the wrong chat here, Tony.
Oh shit, that's so funny. He's probably laughing his ass off still. Tony, what's up, brother?
Speaking of Tony,
Yes.
do you want me to share that first video? All right.
A little segue there.
Yeah. Tony, you'll love this. We're going to talk about spiritual attachments that happen.
Ooh.
So let me find it here.
Sure, Tony.
Is there anybody down here with me? Tony? Did that say Tony?
So why don't you tell people what happened originally with the Tony thing?
Well, the original Tony thing, and not to be confused with you, Tony. I was at work. It was during the pandemic. It was actually when I first started investigating or whatever, with equipment. And I kept hearing stuff in my basement. And we'd always get activity in our house. But I was working upstairs in my living room, and I kept hearing stuff moving around in my basement. It was around 9 a.m. And I was like, you know what? My lunch break, I'm going down there with the spirit box and seeing what the hell's going on. And I went down there, turned the spirit box on. I kept getting, random things. Like at one point, I thought I heard it say Mike. And I was like, can you say my name? And then it comes back and says Bowser. And then I asked, who am I talking to? And it says Tony Caruso. It sounds like Tony Caruso or Tony Cusick. That was the first time I experienced Tony. And then we've heard Tony at the Bel Air House. We heard Tony at Hillview. We heard Tony at Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. I mean, he really showed up at Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, obviously in that video clip. And it makes you think of different attachments, because prior to witnessing Tony at my house, I had investigated the Blue Mist Trail with Hannah. just her and I, just using a digital voice recorder. And we also went to the Anchorage mansion after that. And then the Tony thing happened. So I'm wondering if maybe I picked up, somebody who, a traveler. And that makes me think, like, what are some of your theories as far as attachments go? Do you have anything, Phil or Sean?
Well, I mean, my history of my attachments.
Nothing with me.
I guess, well, when I was at Bel Air House, me and you went there, me and Mikey went there to interview Kristen, the owner. And I guess when I came back, Jen was having nightmares and stuff. And a couple weird things were happening. Like I woke up in the middle of the night one time and I thought Jen was crying next to me. And I said something to her and she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I woke her up. Like it wasn't her crying. I don't know what the hell it was. And then another thing that also happened was I went to get out of the bed to go use the bathroom. And the way the bedroom's set up is like the foot of the bed and then over to the left is like where the door is. Well, I ended up walking around the whole bed. It was on like next to her side on the wall, like feeling for the door, like so out of it and confused and didn't know what the hell was going on. And we also got some stuff on the Ovilus. We had an Ovilus in the bedroom. And the first, because Jen was having nightmares in that too. And the first thing it said as soon as we turned the Ovilus on was nightmare. And she was like, "Fuck you." Like as soon as it said that. But then we have a good friend, Karma, who's a psychic. She comes on a lot of our lives.
Yeah.
And we were at the Inspiration House and she was saying, she didn't know any of this, obviously. She was saying there was an attachment with me, but I think like it jumped to Jen or something at that time.
Yeah.
But now I think hopefully we're both clear.
Ooh, I don't know if I can click on this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this might be my Aunt Sharon. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely have to discuss because, it could have been somebody who, was living in our hometown. So that's definitely a possibility.
I want to actually add to what Tony just mentioned about sleep paralysis because I've had that many times before and it's terrifying. Not as terrifying as I thought it would be. It's just once it actually happens, you're like, "Oh fuck, I don't know what to do," and then your body just has to kind of snap itself out of it. There was actually one situation I had months ago. It was probably like last year. I was sleeping on my couch, the one that was right behind me, and it was broad daylight. And then I went into that sleep paralysis kind of mode, if that's the best way of putting it. And I looked to the right of me, and I saw like what looked like an orange skinny arm tap me on my shoulder twice. Weirdest thing ever. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, what the hell? And of course, I just heard like the loud ringing in my ears, and then my eyes were still wide awake, and then bam, snapped out of it, gone.
That's crazy.
Dude, it was fucking crazy, man. It wasn't really scary. It was just more of like inconvenient would be the best way of putting it,
Yeah.
But I've had to happen probably about maybe half a dozen times in the last like 5-10 years.
I don't know if I ever had sleep paralysis, but there's been times, actually me and my stepdaughter were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
There's been times I've woken up and I've seen shit, but it's like, I don't know, did I just come out of a dream or is it like something like I remember as a little kid at the old house, which I had a couple incidents at that house growing up. That's pretty much how I got involved with the paranormal, seeing shit at that house. But one of the things I remember is waking up and seeing a family at the end of my bed. And like now looking back on it as an adult, I'm like, maybe I just, woke up from a dream and everything else. But as a kid, it scared the shit out of me, obviously. And there's been other times like I'll wake up, not very often, but I'll see something like in the room and like, am I just dreaming or what the fuck was that?
Right. Yeah. That's crazy. Now, Sean, going back to like your experience with the potential attachment from the Bel Air house, you said now it's kind of dissipated a little bit.
I hope so.
That's kind of how it is with Tony because he hasn't shown up at any of the investigations when I've analyzed evidence. So I'm wondering, like, with attachments, because a lot of people I've read experiences at the Bel Air house with Emily Davis. So, like, Emily Davis is one of the house ghosts or spirits that they feel is potentially demonic, and we have some theories on that we'll discuss later. But a lot of people say they experience an attachment that follows them home.
Well, that's the room I actually stayed in, too. That first weekend I went there was Emily Davis's room.
But at the same time, when you have that attachment that, some people theorize, oh, that's Emily Davis, Emily Davis is still haunting the Bel Air house though too. So is it possible that with spiritual attachments, it's not that the spirit itself attaches to you, but it's more just, it imprints on you.
Right.
And then eventually that energy dissipates. And that's why, you only have that attachment for so long, and then the energy kind of goes away. That's just one of my theories on attachment. It's just, it seems like,
that
it's
does
not,
kind of make sense. Yeah.
So we got to find Phil a girl, get him an attachment.
Yeah, exactly. But it's almost like, I don't know if you guys are comic book geeks at all, but there's a Carnage is one of the comic book characters in Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he comes from Venom, who's another character. He's another anti-hero, where Carnage is a bad guy. And the way he got the symbiote on him that created Carnage is he was in a jail cell with Eddie Brock, who's Venom. And Eddie Brock called upon the symbiote to come, and they broke out of jail. And a little bit of that symbiote was left behind, and then attached itself to Cletus Cassidy, who was a serial killer. And then he became Carnage. And I feel like that's, kind of similar to how the attachments work.
Do you see this comic, Mikey?
Oh, wow. I'm assuming that's my Aunt Sharon. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, because it may have not been an attachment from, one of the locations I investigated prior to. It might just be, a spirit at the house that decides to go with me sometimes on adventures. I don't know.
Well, was that before we started going on stuff, or was that after we?
It was after Anchorage Mansion.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And there was no house spirits named Tony there, so
No.
it would make a lot of sense that it's at my house, because I got several spirits that came through the speaker box, and we found a wet footprint one time. I was working out in my basement. I looked down, and there was a wet footprint, and it was a child's footprint. So I don't know. There's definitely layers of haunting at my house, but the energy has kind of dissipated, so we haven't had too much. Every once in a while we hear some noises here and there, and we're just let's not pay attention to it, because we have a kid now.
When was the last time you heard something?
I mean, I feel like I kind of hear stuff every night, but just don't tell Hannah.
So you think doing this type of shit stirs that up?
I think maybe it stirs it up, or also just makes you more in tune to, maybe it's always happening and you just don't notice it because you're not in tune with it. But once you become in tune with it, potentially any place could be haunted. So you have travelers, and there's no deaths necessarily at my house, but there's a cemetery 2 blocks that way, and then there's a mansion 2 blocks that way that used to be a hospital. So they don't have to die at the location to haunt that location.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, funny how you mentioned that. You end up starting to get so in tune with doing this type of thing. I hear stuff in my apartment all the time. Nothing freaky or anything, but this was late at night. I was watching some paranormal stuff, and I thought I heard what sounded like a chapstick bottle that flew out of my cabinet in my bathroom and hit the ground. I was like, holy hell, what the hell was that? So I went in there, and there was nothing on the ground at all. And the only thing I noticed was the window to the shower was open, and didn't feel any breeze. I didn't think anything of it, because it wasn't what the fuck. It was just more coincidence. All right. Time to go sit back down. But it's like you said, man, it's the more you do this stuff, you become much more, I think maybe our ears start becoming a lot more keen to what's going on. You just start hearing things that you shouldn't have heard,
Yeah.
I think it's just reaching out too.
Right.
The more you reach out, the spirits know that you're trying to reach out to them, and they're just trying to get a hold of you.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be malevolent or anything. They just were oh, this person actually wants to take the time to get to know me. Let's see if I can get to know them a little bit more. So it's they're taking our spot of being the investigator, even though they're part of the outside world, and we're just the regular people. We're oh, I can't tell you what you're trying to say to me or anything like that.
That makes me think I have several theories on what it is. I mean, obviously, one of the main theories is, hey, it's ghosts of people that died. But then there's energies at the Bel Air house or at the Monroe house where, it's inhuman. It's something that doesn't coincide with a living being.
Right.
So is it possible that, all this energy that's showing up isn't really ghosts per se, but more just energy that, you know, may show itself as a person, just to have, you know, a personification to interact with you.
Right.
That's a possibility. Another possibility is maybe it's people, you know, going through sleep paralysis at another time. Not to get in like the multiverse scenario, like not like Spider-Man, where there's definitely, you know, different versions of Peter Parker in different dimensions, but more like on a timeline where, you know, we're in our dimension, it's 2022. Right. Maybe, you know, you go to Anchorage Mansion and there's another dimension that it's 1872, and Eliza, whatever her last name was, I can't remember, that haunts Anchorage Mansion.
Yeah. Maybe
she's sleeping at that time, and that's why she comes through. She astral projects through the dimension and is able to interact with you because she's interacting in a dream. I don't know.
Yeah, talking about Anchorage Mansion, did you see that they had some big storm that it didn't get the mansion, but a whole bunch of trees got uprooted like right in front of their property?
No, really?
Yeah, like last night. Yeah.
Oh shit.
God damn. How far is Anchorage Mansion from us? Like, I know I'm a lot, you know.
Well, it's Marietta, Ohio, but I don't remember how far it was.
I don't think it was that far.
No, we got to go back there again, guys. That place is beautiful.
I want to go to that island thing they have.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, if we were ever to go back to Anchorage, I would want to see if we can get that extra hour.
Yes.
We're close to the 3. And I'm like, can we do that one more hour?
I need to go in the basement because Phil sweet talked his way into the basement, but
I know. I was down there with him.
I mean,
I was such a rookie too. It sucked because the whole time, like my camcorder, like I thought I was recording, and then it turned out I didn't format my SD card, so all the stuff that we got was like.
There was a couple cool things that happened in Anchorage. I remember like the piano was playing, and I remember Cameron said he saw who's my son, saw like an arm behind me or something when we were in that funeral parlor room.
Oh yeah.
And then we kept seeing those white lights too in the other room.
Yeah. When that channeling session was going on, I thought the craziest part, Hannah, Phil, and I at the beginning of the night went into the servants' quarter.
Yes.
And there was like some kind of like scratching, like hardcore in the brick wall, and there was nothing there. And it kept scratching and scratching. Then Phil went up to it and put his light on it, and it stopped instantly as soon as the light went on it.
I remember that. That was one of the weirdest experiences ever.
Yeah,
you try to debunk it. You're like, okay, there has to be some reasonable explanation.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nope.
Yeah. I mean, we went up, we knocked to see if it might have been an animal in the wall. We went to the people because they stay in the gift shop.
Right.
And we asked them, is there any like heating or any type of thing that may cause that? And they're like, nope, not at all.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that place is incredible too. And I think there was one part where I was actually talking with Hannah, and then I just felt like very lightheaded for like 3 seconds. It was weird. Like that was the only time I felt kind of like, ugh. And then it was gone. I don't know I've never felt that in any other place I've been to. It was bizarre. But could have been just me. Who knows? But it's I swear, like every time you get into like a haunted location, something's gonna happen to you, even if you don't realize it. And you're like, wait a second here, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff you don't even hear it until you're reviewing. And I mean, that was like the majority of the evidence we got at Bel Air House was just disembodied voices that just showed up during evidence review. And I was like, holy shit.
I'm excited to go there because, I really want to freaking because apparently I got called out on the spirit box. So
more than once.
More than once.
Phil and Philip.
Twice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was last time me and Jen were there with Nick and Angie from Bell Mansion. We stopped by.
Oh, no kidding, man.
A couple cool things happened then too.
Oh, sick, man.
Someone's getting haunted by Sir Charles. That's never good.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either. I used to live actually out in Swissville, Swiss Elm Park. So I was trying to figure out if I knew who that person was.
Yeah, see if you experienced Sir Charles.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
I'm Charles Barkley, bitch. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm just excited for the upcoming stuff we have all going on. Like we have Pickle Jar Antique, which is this coming Saturday, which I've been wanting to go back there forever now. Mike, you're gonna love this place, man. It is like a hoarder's wet dream, dude.
Yeah,
seriously. One of my favorite places to go to.
It's guys' night too.
That's right. Oh Oh yeah, time to bring
Our new member's going to be there too.
That's true. That is true. I'm very excited for this. It's it's just.
So I gave you a clue because I said it's a guy. This guy's name.
But that could be
Which
any guy. You just never know.
Karma was saying, I don't know if you guys heard that I guess there's supposed to be some like 20-something-year-old girl that's supposed to be joining our team this year. She said like on that live at Monroe.
Oh yeah,
somebody were gonna like meet at a convention or something. I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe
Like,
that's
score.
The ticket. Yeah, there you go.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Bill gets himself a 20-year-old girlfriend.
No, a little too young. Oh god. Every time I I tell say my sister like, hey, I'm dating somebody new. She's like, how old are they? I'm like, Phil, she's younger than me. Well, now I don't say that anymore just because I prefer older, but
So Phil's going for Cougars. Is that what we're concluding here?
Mike, you know this, man. No. I'm a little bit more widespread than I used to be.
That's what she said.
Oh, it's like someone's gonna say it. All their viewers are like, "What the fuck is this dude talking about?" And yes, Rochester, PA, is where the pickle jar place is. So we are going to go
Kind of local.
Yeah, a little bit.
We ain't traveling too far this weekend.
For you guys, I live in east of Bumfuck, so
Move closer to us.
Yeah, man.
I think my babysitter.
Let's buy a haunted property that we're going to get.
Mike, I always forget what town you live in. You're in Fort City.
No, that's where I'm originally from. The Burg of Leeches.
Leechburg. There we go. That's what.
See, we need to do like a real world, but a haunted version where we all stay in a haunted house together. Guys.
That'd be kind of cool, actually, if you think about it. Did you take my toothpaste? No, I saw it floating in the air one.
Just stay in the Bel Air house for a year, see what happens.
That'd be fucked up, man. Oh god, I'm probably gonna get possessed too. It's gonna happen. We haven't had.
If you do, can we record it?
Oh, come on now.
I give you full permission as long as I'm not naked shitting myself. You can.
Well, that's the only way I was going to record it.
Okay.
Tony just said, I still think Phil was dating my wife.
Phil's messed with half of Pittsburgh, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Thank God my wife's only 30.
Yes, folks, this is what happens. I'm actually technically the only single the single member of the entire Bump in the Night Society crew, believe it or not. I am.
That is true.
That's a shout out to all the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have some Philly cheese or something.
Everybody needs a little bump in the night.
Did you call yourself Philly cheese? I don't think I'd call myself Philly cheese. That sounds pretty bad.
Everybody does, man. Everybody does.
Philly cheese.
Philly cheese, yeah. Mr. Clean. Trying to think of what else.
It's better than called Dick Cheese.
Although Richard Cheese is a talented artist.
Oh man, that's great.
Did you guys ever hear Richard Cheese? He's a satirical lounge singer who sings vulgar songs.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I love that. What are you trying to say, Mikey?
Saying you could be the next Dick Cheese, Philly Cheese.
Oh man, I'm like Mr. Clean's douchebag twin. Yes, people, we love to have fun too during these things. And that's the cool thing about being a part of this like paranormal team. We like to have a good time. We're a bunch of goofballs. We all have stomach issues. Apparently I flirt with every female that apparently we end up coming across. I don't know how that happens, but
and every male.
Well, yeah, and
don't discriminate.
True. Me and Sean have a love relationship with each other, so his wife knows, so it's okay.
Who, Tony's or mine?
Wait, Sean's
wife.
So, what do you know about that Fermunda cheese?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Phil's so lost right now.
I'm tired. It's been a long fucking day. I've been waiting today because I don't know if I told these guys this, but my sister is supposed to be having her daughter today, so I've been like waiting for the freaking text, like he's here.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Uncle Philly Cheese.
Yeah, yeah. She's getting her C-section today, and they keep like pushing it away like hours and hours because apparently everybody's having their kids today at like the West Penn Hospital. So she's just like, why? I'm like, well, you had to get knocked up by your husband again, didn't you?
Yeah, no, that happened to us with Leo because we went in for inducement, and we were supposed to have it done, I think, on a Sunday. Yeah. We didn't end up getting it done till like Tuesday or so. Like it was ridiculous. Like we waited forever, and it was just yeah. I mean, it's baby season, I guess.
Gosh, it can't be like that's. I wish it could be like the episode of Family Guy where like the one chick gives birth to the baby, and the baby automatically gets thrown into the sweatshop, making like sewing up like sweaters or whatever, and little like Asian is like faster, whips it.
Bill's gonna get us canceled.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
See, this is why we used to record the show.
Talking about Fremunda cheese, and Philly cheese, and Asian sweatshop.
Dick cheese.
Dick cheese.
I'll stop. I'm good. Anywho.
So I know you got all sorts of footage for us, Mikey. Why don't you give us something?
All right, let's see what we got. First up is Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. This is from our documentary. Let me find it here. Discombobulated in the Dark.
What was it like to be in this room? It sucked.
Was that you that turned it off? If it is, can you turn it back on for us so we know it was you? Thanks. That's so awesome, Willie. Thanks so much.
You make it brighter?
Yeah, turn it.
Turn to the right.
Make it as bright as it can get. There you go.
Are you able to come over here and trigger this? If you touch it, it will change colors. Did you receive a lobotomy when you were alive?
Stop. That's my great editing skills.
So why don't you talk about that? What that last picture was there?
So yeah, the last picture was it was taken at the end of the night. It was outside. Are we able to get this off the screen? Am I able to do that? Oh, there it goes. So the last picture was taken outside the lobotomy recovery room, where I got the voice saying, "Yes, I did. Yes, I did." But that was at the beginning of the night. The picture was taken at the end of the night, and it kind of looks like almost like a goat head with a robe figure. It's just the mist. We were able to brighten it up, but that's what we kind of got detailed. A couple of things are from that clip. I know that we were in the bedpost murder room where there was a gentleman named Dean Metheny, and he was murdered brutally. He was intellectually disabled, and these two gentlemen that were in the violent ward with him grabbed him, and if you can hear the in the S-Box session, you can hear them saying, pull him up, pull him up. So what they did was they tried to hang him with bed sheets over this pole that was on the ceiling, and they kept pulling him up, and they couldn't hold him long enough for him to die. And then eventually they gave up and they put him on the ground. The one guy held him down. They put a bed frame to his temple where the post was and stomped on the other side and crushed through his head and just brutally murdered him. And in one of the EVPs that we got it's saying he hit me. And my theory is it might have been one of the murderers saying that's why we killed Dean. He wasn't innocent. He hit me and provoked this to happen. But yeah, I mean, it was a crazy night. It's a huge place. It's really good for ghost hunting. I mean, I loved it, but my preferences are like the Bel Air House and Monroe House and Greenville Manor, where there's some kind of mystery to it. I mean,
well, going off of that whole Dean room or whatever, we had some experiences in there too, which actually that one video you showed where the thing was moving across the floor towards the REM pod.
Yeah.
That was when me and Jen were in there. And part of his thing was I guess he crawled across the floor all the time. So that was kind of weird. And also there was a couple other things, like just the whole vibe going in there. Like, I'm not saying I'm like an empath or anything, but sometimes I get a like weird sense of something that someone's like watching me. And going in that room, like I took probably like 50 pictures in a row because it felt like I didn't catch anything, but it just felt like you were being watched.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing that happened in that room too, is we were playing music and we would ask like a different song, like, oh, if you want to hear Elvis, can you make the REM pod go off? If you want to hear this, can you make the REM pod go off? And I actually said Madonna, and Jen was like, why'd you say Madonna? And like, he died in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually went off when I played Madonna. So I think that was pretty relevant too.
Yeah. I mean, I was scrambling to make the video. I should have included that one. I forgot about it.
No.
But no, I mean, that was a crazy place. And that's why we called it Discombobulated in the Dark, because it felt like we kept getting lost. Like I remember, I mean, I don't consider myself an empath or anything either. I always consider myself just a guy with a fanny pack, an S-box, a flashlight. But there was one room on the 4th floor that we were walked past during the tour, and she wasn't even going to tell us about it. But I just looked at it, and I was like, man, that just looks like death. And our tour guide's like, well, coincidentally, that used to be a nurse's room, and someone the prior weekend was in there doing a session, and they got scratched. And I was like, well, I'm going to go in there by myself. But I couldn't find it. Like, it was so weird. Like, it was it's such a big place. There definitely is a vibe where you can get lost very easily. It's just really weird.
That's definitely a place where we got to go for a couple of days. It's so damn expensive.
Yeah.
Right. How much does it cost?
It was
like
$2,000.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Which we had other people with us. Like, we had our old group, and then PPI was there, and I think there was a couple other people too. And don't you remember we rented that one room? We all stayed in the same fucking room. Like, that was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Jen was the only female too, I think, in the room, and it was all guys.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't care. I was so tired. I mean, that place seemed like it was haunted. Remember that guy said there used to be a poor farm just down the hill from where we were staying, and they knocked it down. I was like, damn, I want to investigate here. Plus, they have a hot tub, so that helps out too. But all right, we'll go on to the next clip. This is actually 2 of our investigations. Let's see if I can find it. Minus the stop. Sorry about that. I'll do better next time.
Need to put like MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer time. Play, you bastard. There it goes.
Walter, are you here with us? I am Mike. I am Mike. Wow.
Is there an entity attached to the doll that's sitting in Sean's lap? I think so, yeah. I am.
I think I stopped it.
Yeah, I could put us back.
Okay. So just on those clips, I mean, those are ones that we didn't make documentaries about. I know Darmine, we just didn't because our camera work is just like our camera work's usually pretty shitty because we don't have a
It was all
videographer.
outdoors, so yeah.
Yeah, that one's real bad.
Yeah.
But what it was we kept getting, like, with flashlight activity and different things, we kept getting a guy named Walter Shepard, who Sean actually asked at the beginning of the investigation, Walter, are you here with us? And that's when the flashlights started going off. And Walter Shepard was a miner, because at Dar Mine, it was the second largest mining tragedy in U.S. history. Don't quote me on the numbers or the date, but I think it was like 1911. The mine blew up and killed 200 some men, women, children. They don't have an exact number, because a lot of the miners would go down there and it would just be them working, but they would have their whole family come down to help them out. And when the explosion happened, Walter was one of the ones that was recorded that they never found his body. And Sean had watched a documentary prior to the investigation and just figured, hey, I'm gonna throw that name out there, and it worked. And we interacted with Walter and got different knocks, scratches, and everything throughout the night. Not on us, but scratches on the walls and stuff throughout the night, responding to Walter.
What about the gates of poop?
That was fun.
Phil and I hanging out in the gates of poop.
Yes.
I almost died on that fucking conveyor belt too, right? Trying to get up on.
Yeah. The gates of poop is a foreshadowing of all the stomach issues we've had. From then on. So that was pretty cool. It didn't smell like poop at all. It was just dirt. So,
which, if anybody's ever seen our team photos, that was actually all taken at Dar Mine.
Yeah.
When was the last time we were there? I can't remember. It was like a couple years ago, I think.
No, that was last March. Not this past March, but the prior to.
I know it was snowing or whatever. It was cold out.
It's March 2022. See, everybody was cold. I'm like, I don't know. I get in investigator mode where I'm like impervious to it or something. I don't know.
Lucky duck.
But then the second clip was from the Inspiration House in Euclid, Ohio. And I did want to make a documentary about that, because that's when Karma had the thing about the trickster that she had indicated. But unfortunately, I deleted all my footage accidentally, because I thought I uploaded it, and I was making room to make the Grand Midway Hotel documentary. And so I had to delete everything off my computer to make room for all the footage. And I didn't back that up. So unfortunately, all our evidence from Inspiration House is gone.
That place is fun.
Yeah. I mean, Phil, do you want to talk about what Karma had said at the...
Basically, the Inspiration House, we were doing a flashlight session, I believe it was, in the barn area. I guess it was a barn. It looked like a barn. I'm just gonna say it was a barn. There was 2 floors, and prior to that, I was talking to Karma the night before, and hey, and she said, you're going to encounter a trickster. So she prepared me to let us know, but I didn't really think about it until we got there. And then once I think Mikey was the one that mentioned, Emily Davis, I think, because I think he said, if this is Emily Davis we're talking to, could you please turn that flashlight on? And it turned on, and I kind of was like,
you definitely freaked out for sure.
I did. I was freaked out. I was.
I mean, that was only your second thing I think you were on, so you were kind of fresh still.
Exactly. And then we ended up going back inside. I think we were on the top floor of this place, and we were doing another flashlight session in the bedroom that Sean and Jennifer were sleeping in. And we were talking with Karma, because she always helps us out. And she's like, yeah, you guys are fine. You just encountered a trickster. Just don't, ask what their name is or whatnot, because you don't want it to give any more information, basically. So that's basically how the whole trickster thing came about. And we've encountered those many times. It's just something that's just messing with us, and just, asking, answering any question we give it or whatever, just because it can. So that was our first encounter with one. And once I realized that it wasn't actually Emily, it's because, like I said, I was still fresh and I was a bit pansy back in the day.
Back in the day.
Thinking the same thing.
I know, I love you too. No, these guys are right. I do get kind of timid sometimes. I'm just I have to get more of a backbone and more of a stronghold when it comes to certain things. That's why I want to be a little bit more okay, well, I know no one's going to hurt me. I know that for a fact. And if I just go in there respectful and be like, I'm going to do it,
Bel Air House will break you, Phil. Don't worry.
I mean, we do give you shit, but none of us run from anything. None of us have ever left a location or anything. People on TV, I don't know if they're just a bunch of pussies or what it is, but
it's for viewings and to keep people from leaving the TV show over a commercial.
Oh, and the Brussels sprouts.
We actually made Brussels sprouts for me and Jen tonight for dinner.
Well, and actually, we ran into the trickster 2 other times that night. Because remember, the Ovulus kept saying Walter, like Walter from Darmine.
Yes.
Just kept saying it all day. And then when I was doing a channeling session and everybody left me in the basement because they're all assholes, we were doing a remote channeling session, and I kept getting Jacob Hetherington over and over again. Just kept saying it over and over again. Who's the guy that built the Bel Air house with his mule Jack? And that's how they got the house that Jack built. But yeah, it was really, really weird that just kept getting all these names from prior locations. Really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But you know, aside from that, you know, situation, the whole like place is just beautiful. It was one of those types of investigations where it really wasn't meant to be like a straight up one. We went there to relax, hang out, kind of
Hi,
like,
Barb.
see you, Barb. Good seeing you, dear. Yeah, just kind of, you know, it was just something fun to do. But of course, what are we gonna do whenever we get to any place like that? We're gonna take our equipment out. We're gonna see if we catch anything, because that's the fun part of this. But yeah, it was. If nobody's been there, I'd highly recommend it. It's like a rustic country home. You know, really, really beautiful neighborhood. Very low key, very simple. So it was awesome.
See, Phil says that it was a place, like a time to go chill. There's no chill with Mikey. We're going to a place. We're going to fucking investigate it.
I like it.
Let me see if I can get this thing back up. That's what she said.
Damn, I missed both those opportunities.
Is it going to work?
That's what she said.
Oh, it's not working.
Here, I could probably play it again.
Oh, crap.
There you go.
Let me go to the right place because we got lost here. Oh, Bel Air House. This is our documentary, Possessed and Oppressed in a Town Called Bel Air.
Yeah,
it's up to 699 views. I'm
expecting it's on our YouTube,
700.
so yeah, if you're on our YouTube, go in there and watch it.
Check it out.
Oh, God damn it! This technology is just not going well with me today.
What happened to you in the basement? Bad person. Who's the bad person?
Emily's a big mom, but
I don't know. The Emily's there it goes.
There you go.
I'm just gonna sit here, I guess.
there's a chair.
Malik, maybe. Hope that's not the name. Who is back in the cubbyhole making all those noises? Back in the cubbyhole making all those noises.
Stop.
Hammer time.
So, yeah, as far as the Bel Air house, I mean, that's just a brief breakdown of the evidence we got. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we had disembodied cats meowing. We got a buddy Fred that followed us around. Like, there's so much evidence that it's a 2-hour documentary. So watch it in parts if you need to, but I do highly recommend it.
How did you guys find out about the Bel Air house? Just like randomly searching on Google for places located in a tri-state area, or?
I think I've seen it on Paranormal Lockdown or something.
Okay.
Originally, and then Garrett, I think, is the one that like said something about going originally because that's what we all went.
That's awesome.
Oh, Tony, why
Nope.
always 3? Well, the theory behind the knocking at 3 is to mock the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. They usually say that it's demonic entities that do that. A lot of the times we do have demon and stuff come through on the spirit box, and sometimes I question that because I'm kind of skeptical on the whole demon thing in general. I think there's definitely negative entities, and that's possible. Um, as far as at the Bel Air house, though, we did have 2 really big theories, and I was hoping Kristen was on, but I'm not sure if she is. But our first theory was we got there's always a dark Emily and the little girl Emily that comes through, Emily Davis, and she was a child of the Davis family that helped found the Bel Air town, so she was there frequently. And our first theory is we kept getting Emily coming through, like, I'm Emily, like the bad person, the little girl saying bad person. And then I asked who the bad person is, and a male voice says, I am. And that same male voice later, we get the I'm Emily coming through as a disembodied voice. So we kept getting a lot of sexual things, a lot of weird sexual things. So one of the theories we had was that Emily may have had something bad happen to her, maybe possibly a molestation at the residence. And she developed a disorder called dissociative personality or identity disorder, DID, which is a lot of times when there's a trauma that happens, people develop an alternate personality to kind of cope with that trauma. And the theory was that maybe Emily had this trauma happen, and then when she passed away, her and the alternate personality that she developed started haunting the Bel Air house. And that's why you always hear the male or the dark Emily and then the little girl Emily. And then our other theory, which I was hoping Kristen was on because I kind of thought of this later, was that we got Moloch in that room. And Sean, what do you remember what happened when the first time you were there in that room? Did you have like...
when me and Garrett were in there, there's supposed to be a portal in that closet, and that's right where he got that, was right by that portal. And when I walked in there with Garrett, I was having chest pain, like right in that same area.
Yeah, and what came through was on the Ovilus device. It came through saying Moloch, which is a demonic prince associated with child sacrifice. He's the bull god. And one of our theories was maybe Emily was like her parents or someone in Bel Air. There was hidden pagans. A lot of pagans worshipped Moloch, and potentially, she was sacrificed in the name of Moloch, and that's why there's a realm. The portal is to Moloch's realm. Obviously, Moloch's a prince demon, so he's not going to be hanging out in Bel Air, Ohio. But the portal goes to his realm, and the theory is maybe Emily takes energy from visitors and then goes back to Moloch's realm to feed him that energy or feed his legion that energy. But one of the things I wanted to expand on, and I needed Kristen to be on here to kind of help me out, is one of the history is Edwin Hetherington. He moved in there with his sister Lyde, and Lyde was they were I think the niece and nephew of Jacob Hetherington, who built the house. And Lyde died, and Edwin just couldn't deal with that. So as a coping mechanism to her death, he would hire all these mediums and all these sorcerers to come in and try to open portals so he could communicate with his sister. And I don't know if the timeline works out that if Emily Davis was a child at that point, maybe someone that Edwin brought in, maybe a pagan sorcerer, or, a mystique or whatever, maybe convinced him that we can sacrifice this girl to open a realm to Moloch and possibly communicate with Lyde through that portal. I just don't know if the timelines work out for that. So I wanted to ask Kristen that. Next time I see her, I'll have to ask.
Well, something else that also ties in with that is supposedly that house that's next to it. She was telling us that something happened there with children. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know that something criminal happened there, and they actually just tore down that house recently.
Yeah, it was. I think it was last week or the week before. Yeah, and she said that happened a lot in the town of Bel Air. There's just in general, there's a something about that town that's really weird. But yeah, I mean that's our two theories. We're gonna hopefully go back here in November.
Set that up.
Yeah, yeah, I know I need to. But besides
Yes.
scaring the shit out of Phil, I really want to focus our investigation on Emily and see if we can figure out and back up our theories, or even expand on them. Because that's what we do. We're here to solve mysteries. We're like the freaking Scooby Gang. Like,
I'll be the Shaggy. Without the hair.
I'll be the dog. I'm Bowser.
I am actually excited to go to this place. I really am, because the more I hear about it and the more videos I've seen that people investigate, it's plus I think the place looks beautiful on the inside too.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. Like, I have Bel Air up here as my favorite location.
Yeah.
But after going to the Monroe House, it's right there. Like, it's tied. Like, the Monroe House was just
Did you, even whenever you walked inside the Monroe House, did you already just feel something was going on? No.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm not really like an empath or anything like that. But
me and Jen definitely
it had a weird vibe
for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Me and Jen were the first two to arrive there, and this was daytime too, like 3:00 or something in the afternoon, and she felt real sick as soon as we got there, and I was just wandering around the house. And I'll put her little comment up there.
I was just going to do that.
But I was wandering around the house, and I went upstairs, and this one room has like a Ouija board and all these dolls in it. And as I was looking at the Ouija board, I heard one of the dolls move behind me, which there was two, one that was kind of lifted up to the side, and one that was knocked over. I didn't see it actually happen, but I heard it move.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, it looks like Tony talking about demons. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, demons are such a religious context to them.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm skeptical with religion and everything in general. Even with our investigations, I'm very skeptical. So I don't know. I think there's definitely negative energy. It could be interdimensional. Could be earthbound. I'm not sure the origin. I mean, it depends on what theory you want to go with. I do believe, there's potential for multiverse where things break through. But as far as being demonic, I think that might just be a label they put on themselves. If there's no religious context to it, and it's just the negative entity, it may say that it's a demon just so, it's feeding off your fear and wants you to be afraid. So it has to give itself a label to do that.
Well, I know our friends from ACG were at Monroe House a few weeks before we were, and they thought it possibly could be a djinn that was at Monroe House.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm interested to have a conversation with them just to see.
They got a lot of activity too.
Yeah, but I just want to see what makes them feel that it's a djinn versus just a demonic entity, because there's not really, at least what I've done research, there's not really much of a difference. It's just origin, at least from what I see, but I didn't really do heavy research into it.
Yeah,
right.
I'll have to have a conversation with them.
Well, we were talking about all of us maybe doing that for a weekend, going with ACG and that too. That would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that whole house too is like you were saying, you don't really get a feeling from it, but it's it's just weird, the way it's set up and the way the doors are, and I couldn't find the second floor for the first half hour I was there. I was like, where the hell's the second floor at?
Where was it at? How'd you get up to the second floor?
It was right off the main room that you go into, but it's to the left. It looked just it was an outside door or something, and I didn't go over there. Toured the rest of the house, went downstairs and everything else.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Jen, I was like, do we not have access to the second floor or something like that? Because you could see the second floor from outside, but we didn't know how to get there. And then we found that door and went up the steps.
Well, it's kind of weird too, because you don't go in the front door, you go in the back. The front door's blocked off. You can't go in that way.
Odd.
Yeah.
That's how Bel Air is too.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's just because the steep steps or something in the front. But yeah, I mean, Phil, this place was, it's next level weird.
Would you ever want to go back there again?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I just wish it was closer.
Yeah, right. That was a 6-hour drive you guys did, wasn't it? 6 or 5 hours.
It was an 8-hour back because they closed Highway 30.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, while we were on it.
Oh. Over what?
Bricks. I don't know. I don't know if it's construction or what, but yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going there. Like the only reason why I didn't go is only because it was my great
scared.
Yeah. I had a family outing I didn't want to miss out on. If that wasn't going to happen, I would have totally joined you guys. Absolutely.
No.
But always other times, folks. What'd you see, Sean?
A family outing.
Yeah, it was my.
Whatever you want to call it, Phil.
Yeah. No, I had a fun time though. Celebrating my great aunt and great uncle's 65th wedding anniversary.
Should have just brought him to the Monroe house to celebrate.
Exactly.
Oh, with my great uncle's health, he probably would have keeled over then.
And they had a redneck festival there that week.
Did they really? Oh, that's
Yeah, they had a
awesome.
street fair there, and it sucked because we couldn't investigate till it was over around like 9 or 9:30.
What's the town like? Like, what would you compare it to? Like, just for
like where I'm from, it's just a bunch
Really?
of rednecks.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing to write home about.
Oh man. Hey. Yeah.
No, let's go on to the next one. I can't remember off the top of my head. All right,
Bumpy
Sean,
gone wild.
you're gonna have to do it because I mess with me.
Oh shit! I just hit the. Or never mind. There we
Is
go.
there a Bumpy Goes Wild video? No.
There it is.
All right. I got to get better with technology.
Oh, preaching to the choir. Loveland, yay.
Camera.
Do these cameras make you uncomfortable?
Can you get to talk one real quick? Can you knock one of the cameras over, please? Not the $1,000 one. Preferably baby monitor.
Right. That'd be a terrible storyteller.
Sure.
Oh!
No, it knocked mine. It knocked the baby monitor.
Oh my gosh.
Got that on camera. Back to that. Dude, right? You good?
What was it?
That was the baby monitor.
We asked it to knock it over before.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude.
I heard something like.
Yeah, we asked them to knock the camera over, and they knocked
I
the
am
baby
too.
monitor.
Yeah, we're like.
Whoa, it is kind of chilly in here.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Different angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is inside the room, so you know Sean didn't move anything.
Oh, yeah.
Her. Back was that.
Dude, that was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, that's one of our best clips for sure.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, Paranormal Warehouse actually played it on their site.
No shit. Oh, that's
Sean,
cool.
do away with the screen. I don't know how to do.
You gotta say the magic words.
Vinny Vici.
There it
Yay!
is.
Yeah, Billy Joe. We have a lot of issues with our baby monitor now too.
We were
That
talking about that with Monroe earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about it with Monroe earlier. It froze with me on the screen. We used it at Greenville Manor, and it kept freezing. So we're going to have to probably retire this baby monitor at some point and get a new one because unfortunately it's just not working well anymore. It was actually a free one. Shout out to April. She gave it to us. But Sean, so when this happened, like you said, camera. And I know when you do the Estes method or the remote channeling session, you get kind of in a meditative state and kind of let yourself go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what you were kind of feeling when that happened before the loud boom scared the shit out of you?
Not really, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, we've done it at different locations. We even just did it in Monroe recently. And I think that was part of the reason I couldn't go under is like, because when we did it this time, everybody was in the room with me. and like I couldn't hear what you guys were saying, but I could hear mumbling in the background, and it was like throwing me off. But I try to like basically just try to meditate, and we were talking about like getting in tune with stuff, and I think the more like I've done that, the more I've been able to get in tune with stuff. I know 3 different instances we've had stuff happen that was relevant. And one, actually, the first one was a Dead Man's Hollow when we were talking about the drowning and the hangings. And
I
stuff
forgot
like
to include that one. Yeah.
Which I think that was actually like the first time I actually ever did it, or it actually worked. And then the Loveland Castle thing, like we were in separate rooms. I don't really remember exactly how I was feeling, but I do remember the third one at Tin Lizzie. That I definitely felt drained, and I was out of it. And my voice was changed, and like all sorts of shit. Like, which I don't know if you have anything from Tin Lizzie or not.
I don't, because I didn't really get to review anything yet.
But what would happen there is I was in the public bathroom, which used to be an apartment where this guy died, and I was doing a channeling in there, and like I just became like real out of it, and my voice changed, and like Yins were all worried about me. Like I remember you guys like coming down and like you all right and everything. And
dude, you worry us every time you do it. I'm in Row House. Okay, so
Monroe was fine though. Yeah,
but he was such a jag. Like he did it, and then I did one first. Then I think you did it, and then Jen did it, and Jen's was just nuts. But
yours was not. You were like breathing real heavy.
Yeah, you were. That was
like,
crazy.
I was trying to really get into it, but when I did it in the hole, like I like really restricted myself because I felt like if I went too deep, like something bad was going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you did it at Monroe House, he just like eventually like he's like all like out of it. And then he goes fucking downstairs. Yeah, Jen says he's staring at the cabinets. Like he leaves. No one knows where he goes. And then like I'm like, you know what? I'll go find him. So I go down. I'm like trying to find him, and I open the kitchen door. It's pitch black.
Well, no, the first time you came down, I was eating a hoagie in the break because you came down twice.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Oh,
and then like the second time I came down, he was in the kitchen. I opened the door, and he's like on the other side of the door. Kind of made me jump. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, listening for whispers. They say whispers happen in here. I'm like, are you good? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And I shut the door.
I didn't hear no whispers either, which I was disappointed about that.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, sometimes like at Loveland even too, like there was a point where we were doing that session. We did a spirit box session and whatnot in the garden area. And you went inside. You were kind of, I don't know. We were worried about you, Sean. Sometimes, like, I don't know.
What were you talking about? I wasn't
at Loveland. Oh. We were in the garden area and doing a spirit box session and a flashlight session. That's when Phil. We were doing a flashlight session. We had no equipment on, and Phil, you asked like a question. It wasn't a yes or no question.
No,
it was like I forget what it was. And we're like, Phil, there's nothing on that can answer a open-ended question.
Then the giant spider crawling on AJ.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But
how big was that spider? I didn't even see the spider.
I haven't reviewed it yet. No. Sean and I are still debating. Like after Greenville, like we were gonna do Loveland, but Monroe is so awesome. So him and I are debating what to do. But that great debate will continue.
Yeah,
we got to see what we got from Monroe too. Hopefully that footage came out now.
I know. We'll talk about that here in a second because I do have a little bit of footage from Monroe.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we were just mentioning the huge spider.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, well, let me see. Yep, I can't do it. I don't know how you do this technology bullshit.
All right, hold on.
Did you hit play or?
Mm-hmm.
So this is our documentary, One Cold Night at the Grand Midway Hotel. It's a 2-parter.
The little girl down here. Can you tell us how old you are?
Are you buried under the Grand Midway Hotel?
Oh, wow. The little girl that's been playing with the REM pod. Can you tell us what your name is? Are you the little girl that was buried down here?
Can you tell us, did you pass away in this room a few
you did, can you please turn the light on? Did they just turn it on and off?
Something in the basement. What's in the basement?
The woman who committed suicide in this room, is that what happened? Or were you strangled?
Got that stop?
Yeah, stop it. Do away. Vinny Vic Vici. So obviously our lighting is horrible. We are not professional videographers.
We've
We're
been working on
amateurs.
that though. Monroe, we actually all have a bunch of IR lights. So
Yes. So it should be a little better footage, but that's always the disappointing aspect of some of our footage is it's the lighting's just terrible. And that's why we're hoping if there's a videographer out there and you're not a douche, get in touch with us.
But I like how you added if you're not a douche.
Hey, I'm not saying anything.
That's so funny.
But so the Grand Midway Hotel, I mean, we had a lot of activity. Right off the bat, we met Martha Minnie Serwinski, who was a girl. I think she was 18 at the time. I'm going to butcher the date. I'm going to say it was like 1905, July 4th. She was on the balcony of the Grand Midway Hotel, and a firework. They were doing the fireworks because obviously 4th of July, and they were shooting off a firework. And when they put it in the canister, the metal canister to shoot it out, it got stuck, and the metal canister blew up, and part of the metal shrapnel caught her in the neck and nearly decapitated her, and she ended up dying on the balcony. That was the first one that we interacted with, and I felt like Minnie. She went by Minnie. That's what she interacted with us as Minnie instead of Martha. But I felt like she was kind of like a playful spirit. There was a couple times, like in the basement, we got a female disembodied voice. My stomach growled. I said, "That's my stomach." And a disembodied voice of a female said, "Funny, funny." And so I like to think that was Martha. But we interact with her. There was a child spirit. We kind of indicated its name was Hannah, and that's one that they know for a fact was buried in the basement. It showed itself as an 8-year-old girl to us through spirit box sessions and different flashlight sessions. And then like my goal, because I researched the canopy room of the Grand Midway Hotel even before we started investigating, because I wanted to take Hannah there on a date.
That's where me and Jen went for our 1-year anniversary.
I know.
We stayed in the vampire room with the coffins and that.
Yeah. But my goal was always to figure out what's going on in the canopy room, because that's the main haunted location as far as negativity goes. They say that there's a female entity that haunts the canopy room, and she often lashes out, particularly at men, often scratching them, and just always negative. It's just an angry woman. And I think we figured it out.
No comment.
but I think we may have figured it out. So we interacted with the little girl named Hannah, who presented herself as an 8-year-old girl that's buried in the basement. When we were in the basement, we got a EVP where I said, "Are we interacting with the little girl in the basement?" It said that it's buried in the basement, and it said, "So is he." So I'm thinking, oh well, there's a man also buried in the basement. Then we're in the canopy room. When we came back to interview Blair, we did a spirit box session that showed at the end there. And we got in the basement. She's in the basement. And I said, "What's in the basement?" And it said, "Guilt. Can't see." So my theory is that, okay, we got a man that's buried in the basement. We got the little baby, or the 8-year-old that's buried in the basement. And we have this woman who's also indicated she was strangled, because they couldn't tell if she committed suicide. Because Chip Coffey, the psychic, always said that there was a suicide that happened in the canopy room, but this woman said that she was strangled. So my theory is, okay, we got a dead guy in the basement, a dead 8-year-old, and we have an angry woman. So let's put it all together. And this is kind of what separates, in my opinion. Like, there's ghost hunters and then there's paranormal investigators. And paranormal investigators, I feel, kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together to try to expand on the history of the location. So we got the little girl. She died. She was buried in the basement. My theory is the man, Chip Coffey, says that there's a suicide that happened, but we know it wasn't the female. So the man goes up there. The female was strangled. So I'm thinking the female, because it also indicated, I asked who was in the room at the canopy room, and it said my mother. One of the little girl came through. So I think the little girl that's buried in the basement, her mother haunts the canopy room, and she's angry because she was strangled, which by the man who was also buried in the basement is my theory. So I theorized that the man, the child died, the man and the woman are grieving, or the man may have interacted with the woman somehow, I don't know, and killed her, strangled her in the canopy room. That's why she is angry in the canopy room and lashes out at men, buried her in the basement along with the little girl. And then the man, in grief, because he said he felt guilty through the spirit box in the canopy room, went back up and committed suicide in the canopy room, and then was also buried in the basement. So my theory is there are 3 bodies in the basement of the Grand Midway Hotel, and they are on the opposite side of where we did our session in the basement. So remember, we had the disembodied voices saying, "This way, save us." I think it was the 3 bodies, the 3 spirits. And also we did the session. I asked how many spirits were down there. It indicated 4. And I think it was Martha Minnie Serwinski, who just followed us around because she was playful, the little girl, the woman that haunts the canopy room, and the man that committed suicide in the canopy room. I think that's the 4 spirits that were interacting with us. I didn't see what Jen's.
She said, "You suck."
That makes sense. Oh, yes, Paul Stansky. Yeah, we did get interaction with him as well.
Yes. That was when you and Luke were down there, right?
Mm-hmm. In the bar? No, that was when we were all down there in the beginning, using the Ovulus, because it came through. I forget what all it said. It said like sorrow, I smell fumes, and stuff that indicated, because what it was there was a man that named Paul Stansky that busted some illegal operation that was going on in a bar back in the 40s. And as he was leaving the bar, someone hit him on the back of the head with a 2x4, and he got knocked into the alley where a cab didn't see him, ran him over while picking someone up at the bar in the alleyway. So we got, I forget what it was. It was suffer, and then it said the fumes and something else. And it was kind of like backwards the way it showed up. So my theory was like maybe in life, Stansky was dyslexic. So when he was talking through, the Ovulus, it showed up backwards because he was dyslexic, and, things are in reverse. And that's why people that suffer from dyslexia read in reverse, and they have trouble reading. But yeah, it's a lot of crazy stuff at the Grand Midway.
Oh, yeah.
That's for you, Mikey.
Oh.
You can tell me. Oh, okay. What I use is, when you're analyzing your evidence, I use these boys, noise canceling headphones, and probably turn it up to eardrum breaking levels, which is probably not good in the long run. But and then once you identify and you can time, do a timestamp of where, like I always write down on paper. Like I have a giant notebook that just has all the EVPs that I read. And I'll take a video and play it through. I use Filmora, Wondershare Filmora editing software, and I'll play it through there, and then I'll timestamp and write down when I hear EVPs through the spirit box. And then when I go back to edit for a documentary, I'll have that timestamp, and I can put up, and you can just use the editing software and type in like just kind of like word bubbles essentially. And you can just put them in where so they line up when the voices show up. But I got Wondershare Filmora. I know Sean has that too. I paid a one-time lifetime subscription for the basic package. It was like $70. It's definitely well worth it. You guys, I know you guys passed out early at the Grand Midway. Do you have anything to add?
Which time at the
Grand Midway?
It's not anything that happened. Well, there was stuff that kept happening in the church.
Yeah.
Like that was me, you, and Phil that went over to the church, and we got a bunch of stuff from, down in the basement, and
I gotta plug my damn computer in because it's running low. So give me a second here. Sorry.
Yeah, we actually had that EVP at the church that was in that video clip. My theory was one of the priests of the church came through saying "in God," and then a couple seconds later it said "Dominion."
Well, we got a lot of you kept asking questions about the age in that too. And you're like, are you 10 through 20? Are you 11? You 12? And then we kept getting, I don't know, it was a REM pod or was it a flashlight?
It was a REM pod.
Okay, but we kept getting responses from that in the basement.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird because they responded at 9, but then the spirit box said 8. And there was actually a disembodied voice that came through saying 8, I'm 8 beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was responding to 8, but it just had to build up energy, so it was kind of delayed.
Yeah. Didn't we also do like a candle experiment in the dining room? I thought we did.
At Grand Midway?
Yeah, Grand Midway. I could have sworn we
You
did.
might
The only
have.
time I remember
wasn't a part of it.
The only time I
Yeah.
remember using candles was at House of Wills.
Yeah,
Which I would like to use candles again sometimes. A lot of places don't let you use them though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
know.
why people like you, Phil.
We did have a lot of REM pod hits in the kitchen that Jen's referring to.
Yeah.
That was when Martha was interacting with us.
Yep. I forgot about that.
And they were playing dress up up in the Shakespeare room.
Yeah, Luke was a unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I love about the Grand Midway is beautiful inside. It's
definitely
one of the best places to go to, in my honest opinion. I love it.
And it holds 2 Guinness Book of World Records. It holds the biggest tarot card, which is in, I guess that would be considered the dining room. It's painted on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And the biggest Ouija board, which is on the roof. But to the 4 people that are listening that aren't part of our group, so I'm assuming it's maybe like 2. Oh, we're up to 5 now. You can find the One Cool Night at the Grand Midway Hotel Part 1 and 2 on our YouTube page. Again, the filming's rough. We're not professional videographers, but the research is great. Theories are good.
Mm-hmm.
It's solid.
It's awesome. And it was very cold. But the last time we were there, it was actually not so bad. So
yeah, it was just slightly cold.
That was the night at Crescent that we stayed there. The freaking blizzard at Crescent.
Oh, that was brutal, man. But it was fun. You know, it's Grand Midway is one of those places where it's like,
I think we always have fun.
Oh yeah, Blair is amazing too. You know, wonderful guy. So we always get, we have the whole place basically to ourselves, which is really nice. So it's awesome. The vampire room, I love that room. Yeah, we all have our favorite rooms where we like to go in.
Jen, that's because you're TikToking up in
Oh man.
All right. Do you want to play the next one, Sean? I don't remember what we got coming up next.
Yep. Whoops.
Stop, Sean. Just stop.
You hit and play? You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, this is our next documentary that we're working on right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think somebody asked about Greenville Manor.
There's someone still in this kitchen with me. Can you make a noise? Oh, flashlight's going on and off. Thank you.
You listen to the Hannah, okay?
Do you want to?
That was pretty on point.
Tell me what your name is. Are you evil? Green for yes, red for no.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for being evil.
Now you say that you're evil. What are you? Demon.
That was crazy.
I got that stop game. So I know we're working on this right now. It's going to be pretty solid. I mean, we got a decent amount of evidence. Unfortunately, some of the coolest stuff that we got, I actually debunked. We got when we were in that room where my wife said about Hannah, I think Hannah's got to stick together or whatever, and it turned on. There earlier in that session, we got a flashlight that was moving and turning on by itself, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. But then I looked, and it was actually coinciding. My wife had her foot on the table, and it coincided with her laughing. So her laughing and her foot being on the table was making the table rock and move. And I was like, ah, damn it. So that was debunked.
Yeah, we definitely saw that like with our own eyes. When that
I
was
know.
going on.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like, holy
so
crap.
excited. So excited.
One of the other things that I tried,
man.
which I don't know if you were with me, Mikey, when I did, I think you were, Phil.
Hmm.
I got a blacklight flashlight, and they were saying
In the
like
basement.
blood shows up and everything. So we went
yeah.
down, and we didn't really find anything on the ground or anything, but they had some old like embalming carts and stuff, and they showed up on there. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was awesome basement, man.
Okay, looks like Billy Joe got demon a few times. Was that in the room that Marcus said was the evil room that was had wood grain where we got it in? Because I got demon. I didn't play it on this clip, but it'll be in the documentary. I got demon a bunch of times in that room. I have a theory, but I'm not gonna say it right now because I'm gonna wait till the documentary comes out. But yeah, I'm interested, Billy Joe, if you got that in the evil room or if it was another part of the house. But yeah, we got some cool stuff too. Like we in the bullet room, I got some kind of conflicting spirit box.
Where Jen was doing the Charleston at.
Yeah, but I got some conflicting spirit box. 'Cause remember, Marcus said he had a theory that the hole in the wall was from the bullet that killed that gentleman. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I got conflicting responses because someone. Like I got in a spirit box that said, yeah, it is, or something like that. And then another voice said, no, it wasn't that. So kind of didn't really get a clear answer if that was the bullet hole or not. In the room, he said was a portal. So I think it is the same one. Yeah, the wood grain room. I'm hoping when we go back to interview Marcus and Katie, I'm hoping to do another spirit box session because I kind of have an idea of wanting to circle around to see if we can identify if there's a portal in the room, what part of the room is it in?
Well, that's another thing with that room in general too. When we went on our tour, we were with a girl who was actually the granddaughter of the people who used to live there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she said as a kid when they would go in that room, that was supposed to be their toy room, and she was always afraid of that room.
Yeah. She said, it was a toy room they set up, and they went in there one time, and they said, nope, we're not going back in there. Her grandparents were upset with her. It looks like Billy Joe said it was Howard. Yes. Yeah, it was Howard. What is your favorite location? I would say at this point, it's probably a tie between the Bel Air house and the Monroe house. I haven't spent a whole weekend in the Bel Air house yet, so we're hoping to do that later on in the year. So that might kind of teeter more towards the Bel Air house again. Plus, I mean, we're pretty good friends with Kristen that owns the Bel Air house, so that kind of helps with teetering it more towards the Bel Air house rather than the Monroe house. But I would say those are my favorite two really mysterious locations. Greenville's up there too. I'd like to go back there and investigate. Just especially that room, it just amazes me, and kind of I always like those rooms with a little bit of mystery. Jen said Hillview. Hillview's up there too. I like
Hillview.
Yes.
Hillview's. I mean, first off, me and Jen had our bachelor party at Hillview. So.
Yeah. Bachelor party.
Been pretty cool. We were actually, me and Phil and our new member were actually just at Hillview this past Saturday. We were at the psychic fair.
It was a blast.
We got a reading from Gregory Nichols. Is that what
yes.
his name? Nichols, I think. And then Cindy Willoughby, I think. Two psychics or whatever. It was pretty cool. They hit on a couple things.
Oh yeah.
Saw a bunch of vendors and a bunch of people we know. They had the ghost evidence review, which was with Sue and Melissa, and then we also had like Ghost Hunting 101 with Ken and Donnie. So shout out to everybody from Hillview. They're good people.
Yes, amazing. Thank you again.
I'm actually disappointed in myself. I forgot to include the Hillview clip where I got tied up in that hallway where. There's a hallway at Hillview where a nurse was supposedly raped by one of the patients there, and I put myself in a very vulnerable spot, needless to say, in that hallway. And then afterwards, when I got untied, I just asked, "What happened in this hallway?" And a male voice comes through saying, "Don't tell him. don't tell him. And then a female voice says, I was raped. And I should have included it in this clip. I was kind of rushing to get it done, though, because I wanted to make sure I got it done before the podcast. So, let's see. I'm going back.
Now, Billy Joe, you're talking about Greenville or Hillview? Oh, you said Hillview's not. I was on my list, so I guess.
Yeah.
Because they have pianos and that too, and we actually down in the solarium, we've gotten I think it's more of an organ than the piano, but we've heard the organ, like the keys moving numerous times when we've been there.
Yeah, and I remember one of our former members had probably one of my favorite EVPs. He was playing it was Garrett. He was playing the piano at Hillview, and I forget what it said. It wasn't working. He was just like hitting the keys, like it wasn't a working piano. And he said, "Can you do that? Can you play this?" And clear as day, it goes, "Get out!" Like, and it was a digital voice recorder one. It was really crazy.
Holy shit!
Yep. We were bee vendors at HillCon in August. We were talking about that earlier. Jay was actually on earlier, Jen. He was giving us the official date, August 13th.
Yep.
And all 7 members will be there. First time ever that we've all been together at one of these conventions. So come out and get your boobs signed or whatever the hell you want to
do. That's going to have to be from Phil.
If you insist.
But yeah, we have the Greenville documentary. We're probably going to drop that, I would say, probably in late July. Hopefully late July, early August. Just depends on when we can get with Marcus and Katie to get some interviews in.
Was that the bullet room, Billy Joe? Because I opened that door in there and it smelled really bad.
Yeah, it was
I made the mistake of going in one of the bathrooms that smelled like death at Greenville.
Jen signing boobs too. So
boobies.
Now we usually when we go to haunted locations, we usually make the bathroom smell like that.
Yeah. It's either 3 of us. That's pretty much it. Yeah. It's
Well, we got one more video clip if you want to play it. It was from Monroe.
Right, go for it, Mikey.
Do it.
I don't know how to bring it up. Bring it up for me. So you're messing it up too.
We're prone to solving mysteries, and we want to solve this one. What is it that haunts this place? What makes it so negative?
Yeah, if you can tell in that again. You can tell in that video.
Stop it.
Our lighting is way better in that video. Like I said, we've gotten lights and stuff now, so you can actually see what the hell we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is with that that session right there, it says what's haunting this place. It says God, and then it says she's throwing me off. Making sure
That's really funny.
Missed opportunity. But it says they dug up God. Now there's 2 references that I'm thinking. So remember, Sean, you were looking up the history of the house while we were investigating, and they said there was some kind of altar or something when they first moved in that the people moved, and they think that's what cursed the house. Mm-hmm. I was thinking it could be that, or they could be referring to the bones that Nick Roth found in that crawl space on the paranormal lockdown. I don't know. I mean, the more logical explanation for they dug up God would be the original whatever they found in there and moved when they first moved in. But unless that person that they found the bones in the crawl space maybe was like some kind of cult leader or something that was viewed as a god, who knows? But I'm excited to go through that evidence. I'm just so pissed because I had the scariest thing happen to me. I've never been freaked out ever, except for at Monroe House. And
What about the holy water thing too? That was kind of creepy.
Yeah, definitely.
What
yeah,
happened with that?
We were throwing down Troy brought holy water, and I was sprinkling it. I was the first one. Jen also did, but I was sprinkling it, and I don't know. It was like mocking me, making some kind of noise through the.
Yeah, he was like laughing earlier in the night. I think when we were ordering pizza or something, and it sounded like him laughing through the spirit box.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Wow.
And then Jen also threw down some holy water too, and that was right before the clip that we just played. But yeah, I mean that place is just, I don't know, crazy. And I'm just so pissed that my camera didn't work while I was in that crawl space.
There's other teams that have been there before too, and supposedly have like left, like, and that's even one of the things I said when we were down there is like, we're not leaving, like we're not going to run from anything. It's here.
Yep. Now Phil might if he was there, but I'm just jagging you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back to Monroe though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's just the crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. Jen just said something about that.
Oh, what point was that?
Jen had a cross on. I think it was actually my grandma's, and I had that exorcism medal on. Don't you remember? It was like real heavy, and it felt like something picked it up and just dropped it. Which was like, I think that was when you were in the hole. Like I remember telling you about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of freaked out coming out of there. Man, that was nuts. I'm just so pissed my camera shut off while I was in the hole because I wanted to see if you could see, like, I don't know. I guess it would kind of look like I got a boner or something. It felt like, okay, when
the Bowser trouser snake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna copyright that.
You wouldn't have seen anything then, but
that's so funny.
No, it's like a dirt floor, and it had like a creepy, like dirty, disgusting carpet on top of it, and it felt like whatever touched me was like underneath the carpet. That's why I thought maybe it was a snake or something like coming up, and I don't know. It freaked me out though. Whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, anything else?
Yeah, let me tell you about the greatest EVP I've ever got at Anchorage Mansion. Sorry, Phil.
No, that was funny. That was good.
You know I love you.
I know I love you too. That was great. I actually feel terrible that I was the one that actually caused that to happen. Oh, God.
No, we made a new rule. Phil has Benadryl and an energy drink.
Yes.
Before
and he has to wear an astronaut helmet from now on.
Yes.
I'm the guy that has no kids, live on my own, so there's no reason why I should not be yawning. But I yawn. I'm the first guy that starts
yawn. You sniffle. You
I
cough,
yawn.
You do it all.
Yeah.
I had to take your place at Monroe. I was doing that shit too.
Did you really? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know,
I think I was allergies and maybe the medication I'm on or something. But yeah, it was.
There's always at least one person in every team who's that guy, and I think I'm that guy. So.
Well, we're over 2 hours here.
Oh man,
might as well.
Love you too, Jen.
So run off everything that we're on.
We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter, Instagram. I think we're also on Snapchat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so check us out. Follow us.
TikTok. You know,
you forgot Jen.
TikTok. Can't forget TikTok. Jen will crucify me if I don't mention TikTok. We're very popular on TikTok, matter of fact. Very popular. I think one of our videos is like the most popular video.
We
running
have
on
2
TikTok,
videos over 1 million views.
That's amazing. But yeah, check us out. Follow us. We go live every time we do an investigation. It's amazing. And yeah. So,
Mikey, what's coming up?
Well, we got the pickle jar this weekend. We got the Greenville Manor documentary hoping to drop soon. We really want people to get on our YouTube as well. We got some really good content, and we're damn full-time jobs are getting in the way of generating more content, but we're gonna have more stuff on there. But then we have HillCon in August. I know you guys have some cons like in between there. I can't remember.
We have Sleep Swallow Con in October, which me and Jen are actually going to be speakers there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so definitely check that out. And then we're hoping to do Bel Air, a weekend at Bel Air in November. And yeah, I don't know. We're just going to keep going strong. We're hoping to really put out more content. And
like Shawnee and what else is the other one? Peggy were doing the Is that Fairfield? Is that what it is? Or
Yeah, Fairfield.
whatever the one that's in Indiana. I forget what that place is called.
Yeah.
But then we're definitely going to be lining some other shit up soon. And I mean, the podcast is back. We're going to try doing this at least every Tuesday night, 8 to 10, or maybe even 7 to 9, because I get up early now, so it might be a little earlier. But
making me stay up late.
But yeah, we're going to start doing that more. And I don't know. I mean, Saturday will be a pickle jar. I'm sure we'll go live probably around 10. I'm saying we probably go live around 10.
Sounds
and
good.
hopefully we get some shit there and put something out for that too.
Yeah.
We're still looking for a videographer, so hopefully somebody comes around. We have a couple connections that maybe some of them will pull through, but yeah. And then actually, hopefully, if Greenville turns out good enough, we might actually do a release in the theater again too, because we did that with our first film. So
yep, we had a pretty decent crowd.
Yeah, I need some more evidence from people though. We need to, if we're gonna put it out in the theater, we need to make it longer. So
we'll be back in the theater regardless. I just don't know when yet. We'll have to maybe Monroe or one of our other ones down the line. But we're gonna do it big this time. Probably have posters and all that other shit. And like I even maybe have a band open up for us. I was thinking about, but
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We could even have a double header, do Monroe and Greenville, or vice versa, whatever we release.
But I don't have an outro video, so I'm going to play the original intro video as our outro video. Hopefully next time I'll have an outro video. But have a good night. Thanks for being on, Mikey. See you this weekend.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, man. It was awesome. Hell yeah.
We're out this bitch.
Hell yeah, brother.
Bump in the night. Did you hear a bump in the night? Bump in the night. Bump in the night.
I thought that was the outro. What the fuck?
Oh, that was fucking great.
Keep hitting the end broadcast button. There we go.